Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and this is gonna be my first new what if. Basically, I'm gonna add my characters into the what ifs that I want. So, this is part one or zero, whichever one, um, of what if Sebastian was Asta and had ice magic. Now, I'm gonna make a few references to other shows like Jujutsu, Sorcerer, Naruto. I'm also gonna make shit up. And I know cussing might monetize me, but honestly, I don't care. Right now, I'm at work, and yeah, so I'm not really doing this for money. But, yeah. So, as we cut to Asta and they are outside playing. They're real little, so, you know, yeah. Uh, so, is a crybaby. So he gets stuck in a tree. Asta tries to climb up and get him out. Uh, unlocks his wind magic and accidentally hits Asta with a branch in his left eye, destroying it entirely. And right now, Asta is in a bed with bandages on his eye, and basically he's dying. And now we cut to the perspective of Integral. Uh, he says, Asta is dying. Can't have that. Sebastian, I need you to go down there and be a badass. Can you do that? Sebastian says, hell yeah. So, Integral snaps his finger, and Sebastian White turns to light basically, enters the body of Asta. Now, Sebastian and Endergold is, well, weaves. They're weaves that also work out. So, before they died, or that he died, whatever, he was a weeb. He also had an 8 pack. Well, less than an 8 pack and more of a 4 pack. But, he was getting there. Point is, I'm not going to get into his backstory, so at least not now. If you want, just comment down below you want a backstory on Intergold and slash Sebastian White. So, onto the video story. Asta slash Sebastian wakes up. Well, slowly wakes up. Sister Lily is, you know, sitting next to him, worried about him on his deathbed, basically. She sees Asta waking up and getting up. So, she, gets everyone in there. He's still a crybaby, so he's apologizing over and over and over. And basically, I'm Sebastian White and Endergold at the same time. So I'm gonna say me and I and whatever and we. So, and warning now, there's gonna be spoilers, and there's gonna be later on in the series, in all my series, there's gonna be graphic scenes, 18x type of shit. Anyway, Asta's not Asta, is apologizing to Asta and over and over, and Sebastian White slash Asta is like saying, it's okay, it was an accident. I forgive you, and but like, saying thinking he's saying, "I'll never forgive you. I hate your guts" and all that. But basically that changes him for a while, or not for a while, forever. And then basically we time skip a few hours as Asta has no eyeball. Well, his left eyeball is out of his head and is there a hole there now. And basically he's just wearing a kind of like a makeshift eye patch from cloth, clean cloth, so it doesn't get infected. So anyway, we do another time skip after he gets all that settled. He's able to go out and stuff, and we skip to when is getting his pendant taken from the drunk guy, and Asta, the new Asta, badass Asta, comes in saying, "Hey, give that back to Yuno." And the drunk guy's like, "Huh? What are you gonna do about it, brat?" Asta's like, you know, give him like off, like basically he's getting more and more angry, which is making it colder and colder. And then ice starts to form on Asta as well as the ground. And the guy's like, "Huh, this kid's magic must be ice magic." So then the guy, I think he has water magic. I'm not sure. He just flips open his book. Asta just puts out his hand and clenches it, which freezes the guy solid, which also makes him drop the pendant. Asta grabs it, gives it to and they walk off and back to the Hodge village. Tells all of them that Asta has ice magic and all that and what happened. Asta, shows them like an ice cube or two. Nothing much, but yeah. They, say, "Oh wow, ice magic, that's pretty unique, for this, area and whatever." And so Asta, being the badass that he is, goes and trains. Because apparently in the Black Clover universe, mana is, like stored in and produced from the body, not the soul. So strong body, strong magic. So he trains that for a good bit. As we time skip when is 7. Basically, he remembers that, huh, this is, the DM school, as he's saying. This is Lift, right? So, I remember Lift dying, and the magic royal people were using that device to steal all the elves' magic. And it should be around here. And so, he goes to try to find it. A few hours pass, he finds it, and, sees Julius storing more of his time magic in there. And he's like, and Asta, you know, goes up to him saying, "Hello, mister," because, he's acting. I forgot to mention, Sebastian, White, and Endergold are pretty much the best actors you can think of. Like, they can, like, deceive anyone because they're such good actors, and that's because of their backstory, which I will not get into right now. Anyway, as Julius says, what are you doing out here, little one?" And Asa says, "I live near the village around here, and I was just exploring. And then he looks over at the magic device and says, "Hey, cool, what's this?" And then Julius says, uh, "Well, I think it's a magical device to store mana in." And Asta's like, "Oh, that's cool. I wonder how, you use it." And then Julius says, "Well, you probably shouldn't touch it if you don't know how to use it." And Asta says, "That's a pretty good point. So, who are you? You look like a noble, but you're talking to me so nicely." And then Julius says, "Yeah, I am a noble, but not all nobles are, well, stuck up," as Asta says that. And Julius says, "Yeah, that's pretty much right." As he like looks down with that anime droop thing. And then Asta says, "Yeah, I understand that not all nobles are like that, but like most of them are." Sorry. And sorry, I'm back. As Asta, has a flashback of Noelle and how she has been treated badly all of her life. And this Asta wants to change that. So somehow, someway, Asta convinces the Wizard King to, listen to him. And, you know, basically he mentions he knows the real cause of death of Miss Silva Noble, who died after giving birth to her youngest, he says. Julius, with a serious expression, "Oh, how do you know this?" Asta says, "Let's just know I know things that I shouldn't know, at least from my perspective." "Oh, alright, you got me intrigued. Who is it? The real person behind the death of the Miss, whatever her name is, Noel's mother?" And Asta says, "Well, I can't really speak about the person, otherwise I'll also get cursed from that same person that killed that noble." He's basically saying that. And so Julius is like, "Oh, uh huh." And Asta, suggests to him, "Well, why don't you bring that one captain that always sleeps? I heard her dream magic, and, she can create a glamour world, I think it was, where, normal things in this world wouldn't apply in there. So I could tell you in there." Julius says, "Alright, meet you back here tomorrow, and I'll bring the captain of the whoever peacocks, feral peacocks, whatever, I don't know. Basically, the captain that always sleeps and, fights. Basically, OP as hell." And so, the next day, same time, Asta's already there, like, waiting, like, leaning against a tree, you know, just soaking in the sun, as, you know, Julius comes up with the one mage that sleeps all the time. I don't know her name yet, so I will know her name. So once I get caught up on the Black Clover, anime and manga, I will, you know, get more detailed with my what if. Sorry. Anyway, then, you know, Julius says, "All right." Uh, so he basically asks the captain of whatever peacocks to make a glamour world. And so she does, and basically time skip. Asta tells them about Magicula, I think her name was, and how she's the one who um, cursed Noelle's mom. I don't know her name either. Sorry. And basically, Julius is, skeptical about this, about how Asta knows about this. And then Julius, he, asks a few questions about, hey, who are you exactly? And why, how do you know this? And why are you telling us? And so, basically, Asta just tells them, well, I'm an orphan, and I know some personal things that I shouldn't know, and want to fix. This being the Silva family and how they treat the youngest Silva, named Noel. And basically, I want them to right their wrongs and not treat her like she's the one responsible for their mother's death. And then, Julius is like, ah, what a good kid. Strange, but good. Sorry. Um, and then, all that, and time skip to time skip like a few hours, and um, to the point of view of Julius. He got a prisoner who's sentenced to death, so he has the same captain take them, the Wizard King and the prisoner, to Glamour World. They tell the prisoner, to speak on their behalf about all that, and so prisoner agrees, and um, they go to the Silva family. The prisoner, speaks on their behalf, and reveals the real, reason why, you know, the mom died. Everybody is hella guilty, and is apologizing to Noelle. This will in turn make her mana control better. She will also, you know, ask the Wizard King, how did he know, or how long, or whatever. And Julius, being the chat he is, saying, well, I got this information from a reliable source who was also a commoner. And so she'd be like, oh my god, commoners are awesome. Well, some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. And then she asked the Wizard King, wait, who told you this? And Julia says, I'm sorry, that information is confidential. Because if people found out who they were, then they might, you know, hurt him, use him, anything really. Noel nods in understanding, and goes off. Time skip to the age of 10. Asta has a pretty built body, not, a lot. He has also gotten his mana control to a high level. He can use big attacks without his grimoire already, because he doesn't have grimoire at age 10. So this is around time where he decides maybe I should go hunting and sell the hides to gain money for the church, and maybe keep some of the meat for the growing kids as well as myself. So he does that. Time skip. The kids are more healthy and they are able to, buy a lot more stuff because of Asta. Asta and are the golden childs of you know Cottage Village, and basically that happens for a while. Time skip to the age of 15. Um, and of course, Asta and have made up already, and all that, and they have trained together in mono control, like riding brooms to like max altitude. Well, Asta not, I mean, Asta has pretty high mana amounts, but not to that amount yet. Yet, but yeah, they train pretty good. They get as high as the clouds, at least. And then, we time skip to the Grimoire ceremony. Mm, Everything goes pretty much canon except, uh, you know, gets his same thing and all that. Asta, his comes. It's basically think of a grimoire made out of his element, ice. So the cover of his grimoire is basically ice, but like it looks like ice and feels like ice, but it's not cold like ice. And when he opens it up, it is kind of like frost or a mist of sorts. And the pages go on for infinity. Yes. Yep. Infinite potential. Yep. Now, Asta slash Sebastian White is gonna be hella OP. Gonna have a lot of spells. But I'm gonna stop the video right now for a second. So, yeah. Right, so I left off at the Grimoire ceremony. And also, his Grimoire, I don't know if I remember if I said this or not. Asta's made out of his element, ice. The cover looks like ice, feels like ice, but isn't cold like ice. The pages are infinite and look like ice slash fog type stuff. So infinite spells. And I don't know if I forgot to mention this, but this is more or less what Oz looks like. Not his clothes yet, but his face. And well, except for his eye, his left eye, it's gone and is wearing a eye patch type thing, makeshift. Um. Anyway, his grimoire, it ain't a 4-leaf, it's a 3-leaf, but still gonna be pretty damn OP, and is a unique grimoire. And of course, um, you know, that all that happens, leaves gets confronted by the nobles, and but Asta slash me, I am gonna go talk to the old wizard dude, grimoire keeper person. Yeah, and basically I ask about my grimoire. Has anyone ever got one like mine? He basically says no, and all of his life and all that. And then basically I say okay, thank you. And by the time I get outside or near out the door, basically I'm pretty much a master sensory type mage because OP like that, and you know basically God level, or close to God. Sebastian White is. But anyway, he since his is in trouble, and basically he, I step outside. The chain mage says, "Ah, the other commoner with the interesting grimoire." And before he could say anything else, I freeze the area without my grimoire, and basically, yeah, he's captured. He drops. I mean, he's frozen with the his grimoire in the ice with him. But I just walk over to him, phase my hand through the ice because I'm gonna say I can, like, make an ice wall and just walk through it because it's my ice, and you know. So, Asta just phases his hand through the ice, grabs Yuno's grimoire, and walks over to him and gives it back. Uh, the Magic Knights come to pick up the guy, Chain Mage. Don't really care what his name is. And me and slash Asta and do the fist pump thing. You know, rivals and brothers. Is gonna be different in this. He's not gonna be as emotionless. He's gonna show emotion, just not a lot, but he's still gonna be cold slash calm. But he will smile at me from time to time, and me, I like embarrassing him, so, and other people too. So I will constantly, tell them that I love them, even like my family from the church, and you know, really, really close friends. Of course, I'm gonna be straight. So anyway, the training period. I believe it's 6 months before the grimoire ceremony. Anyway, um, yeah, 6 months. Basically, just does what he does in canon, and I work on my mana control. I very easily learn mana zone, basically filling a zone with my mana and pushing all the other mana out, leaving no one else's mana except for mine. So I can shoot spells from any direction in the zone. And I also, learned how to sort of walk on air with mana. It's like, I don't know what to call it, like mana step. And I also learned mana skin, so yeah. So, yeah. And basically, I also see Sekirei, or Narrow. Sekirei turned into an anti-magic bird, and also names her Narrow later on in the series. But I don't even know it's Sekirei, so I'm gonna say, I put down a sort of crumbs for her to come and eat. I start talking to her. She understands me. I ask if she wants to be my friend, quote unquote, for now. Yeah. She's gonna be a ship. Yeah. Anyway, I say, well, I want to name you something, but don't know if you'll like it. So I, make a couple stupid names. She turns him down. Then I say, Sekirei. And, she, at first she's shocked, and while I'm waiting for a response, whether she likes her or not, that's when she's shocked. And, I'm gonna say, yeah, Sekirei. That's a good name. Basically a hint to, I actually knew her name was Sekirei, and she doesn't know that, but she thinks coincidence and all. But it ain't. Anyway, so me and her are gonna hang out for, you know, basically she's gonna be like my companion type person, bird thing for now. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, mm, so 6 months of training is up, and of course me being able to hunt and you know able to basically hunt animals and get their hide and sell them allowed me to buy pretty decent rooms for me and please ignore the background noise. Just still at my work, waiting for my phone to charge to full. Anyway, yeah, me and you have pretty decent rooms, not rooms, rooms. Yeah, sorry, English bad. You know, kind of tired too. Anyway, that's besides the point. Back to the story. 6 months of training's up. Um, Going to the capital, and but before I go, like during the 6 months flashback, during the 6 months, I say, "Man, it's really annoying to only have one eye." Because remember, Asta's eye is gone, so I make a ice eye. It's kind of like Gauche's eye from Black Bulls with the mirror magic guy. I think his name is Gauche. Pretty sure. Anyway, he has a magic eye type thing. But I'm just gonna say, my eye is kind of like that. It's like a spell I don't actually need my grimoire for. And basically, this eye will allow me to connect to ice mirrors that will, you know, place wherever. And I can see through the ice mirror with my ice eye. Yes. Basically, I just concentrated all my mana into my eye that was gone and created a magic eye because I can do that and I'm a boss. Well, Asta. This Asta. And now, um, Asta and slash me and get on our brooms and fly off to the capital. hmm It takes us about, I don't know, a day from morning till night. We get there the day before the entrance exam. And, you know what? No, it ain't night when we get there. It's, still day. We get there a day early. But, yeah. Yeah. And while we're there, we're just looking around, browsing, and I think, what's her name? Hold on. Basically, this girl, her name's Rebecca. He sees her and her siblings, walking the street. That haha guy, you know, still tries to flirt with her. As Asta slash me walks over behind him and chops him in the neck, knocking him out. He doesn't know that was me, and you know, and I look at her and say, "Oh, sorry, was he bothering you or?" And she just stops me and saying, "No, no, he was. You're fine, and thank you." And I said, and Asta slash me says, I'm fine. And she like blushes a little bit, like, no, 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 that's not what I meant. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just messing. She's like, oh. And then I say, sorry, I'm like that. And she says, you know, uh, hi, I'm Rebecca. I've never seen you around here. And I say, yeah, I'm from the sticks, basically. My name's Asta. Nice to meet you. All that, She offers me, and to not just first she offers me a place to stay. I like, well, me and a friend of mine are, you know, here for the medic nights exam, and trying to find a cheap place to stay, but capital is so expensive. You know, she offers to, you know, basically let me, stay there. She doesn't know that my friend is, you know, and he, so she's kind of fine, I guess you can stay too. But then she sees it's, and a guy. So she says, oh, aha, still have a chance. Well, she says in her head. I'm like, that's what she's thinking. Because, why not? I can read thoughts. Why not? No. Just telling you what's happening from this point of view. The third person point of view. Narrators. Yep. Yeah, so, that's his story. They stay the night at Rebecca's. Um, Next day, magic night exam. Everything, you know, sort of happens in canon. Nero is still with me, and and basically, Nero, she's smart, so she just waits on top of the place, the building, arena. Yeah, that's what it's called. Brain fart for a second. She waits on top of the arena as, he goes first in front of me. The guy says, "Oh wow, a four-leaf clover grimoire. I heard about you. I'm expecting you to come." And all that shit. Then it's my turn. There's a three-leaf grimoire, but like he says, oh, "Wow, never seen grimoire like this. So unique. Wow." I'm like, yes. Can I go now? And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry." So he checks me in. I know he's not, nice. Just he was irritated before because then his mood changed when he saw the four-leaf curl over grimoire. Sorry, I'm not speaking clearly right now. I'm tired. Haven't slept all night and all day. I just got done working. Don't mind the background noises. Anyway, so I go in. Of course, it doesn't have any anti magic birds by him, around him. And everybody can hear footsteps coming down the hallway. And all of a sudden, some of the birds, not all, because I'm not that OP yet. But some of the magic birds that are near the entrance sort of fly away for a second as I come through, and I go to Asta, not Asta, go over, and like, so you ready to see what happens? And he's like, yeah, totally gonna be better than you. No, so see, make this, test a competition between us, and he's like, yeah, we'll see who's better. And I'm like, this is definitely me. He's like, don't flatter yourself, Asta. I'm like, well, I'm definitely flattering myself. And of course, the girls, they're of course fawning over, but they're not too. I'm not too bad looking either because I have white hair, blue eyes. Yeah, blue eyes, and I have a long black sleeve shirt on, pants that are blue, and boots, I guess, like everybody else there. Boots and nice shoes if you can afford them. Nobles and yeah. Anyway, so and I'm gonna say that magic anti birds or anti magic birds are like if like a person with high magic, uh you know was there, and someone with low mana stuff where was there, like next to the high magic people, the anti magic birds will still flock to them because they're focused on them and not the others. And so, yeah, hmm that happens. And so, the propter or whatever announces that the magic knight's, you know, exam is about to begin. Um, Asta, they stand pretty good distance apart, and yeah. So basically, William Vengeance, Captain of the Golden Dawn, uses his World Tree magic to, you know, make brooms come down from a tree in the sky. Everyone gets one. I'm like, uh, I remember I used to need one. Yep, yep, that's right. Basically, I'm gonna use the ice, like cold wind slash ice, cold ice, kind of like hot ice, but you know that as kind of like my you know propulsion type stuff. Basically, mana is like energy, and I can direct that energy into a certain direction, making me fly. That's also how it works with mana zone, and also walk. Mana walk. Yep. Yep. So, uh, yeah. So everyone does, get on the broom and fly. It's like saying, "Well, Asta, can you beat this, or are you just gonna stand there?" I'm like, I'm like, I can totally beat that. So I throw the broom, and like cross my arms, and you know, my mana power is slowly, rising. Then I start flying, like, bam, like I'm face to face with him, the bam, and then I fly a little higher than him, and it's like, stop. And like, no, he didn't really do that, but like, he's like, that's my rival. Gotta stay calm. Can't show emotion. Can't show them shocked and proud at the same time. And also, damn, I wish I could do that. And soon enough he will, because this is where he gets inspired to do that, sooner. hmm Because I'm OP, it's gonna be OP. Yeah. So, Magic Knight Captain's like, check. Badass mana control. Yeah, check. And they also, like, see, and he's pretty good. hmm So, yeah. And, wait, I'm sorry. Let me, like, specify something. I don't really, tell Julius about, you know, Noel's mom being killed and all that. And yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about, telling Julius about telling the Silva family to, you know, about that and stuff. Whatever, though. So that didn't happen. Just to clarify. Sorry. Sorry if that was confusing. Anyway. Um, Noelle's still gonna be there. And she's gonna be like, damn, that commoner's just, damn, is he really a commoner? And I'm like, God level. Just, yeah. Anyway. And, of course, I do have my eye covered with a makeshift cloth. It's like loosely wrapped around my eye, my ice eye. hmm And, basically, I ace all the tests in the Magic Night exam. And, yeah. And, hold on. Right, so I was doing the magic stages, versus flight, also target. Sorry about the loud noises, if you can hear them. Anyone am I saying? If you can hear them, you can. Just please ignore them. I'm just walking home after work. Anyway, there's target practice, magic power creation, and magic evolution, I guess. I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, Asta, he is very good at all of them. So, yeah. And he completely demolishes this. He completely demolishes that one right here. And he hits all the targets. And his seed, magic evolution seed thing, grows into a fucking tree in about a minute. And sorry. And his creation, he is going to make. What should he make? Hold on, let me pause and think about what he wants to make. You know what? He decides flattery gets you everywhere, so he's gonna make a life-size replica of the captains. So he looks at them for a quick second, turns around, where his back is behind, where his back is facing towards them, basically, and he, moves his right hand in like he, that anime thing where he thrusts his hand out and moves it from left to right side. Yeah, that's what he does. And as he's doing that, life-size ice sculptures of the captains are being formed. And they're in extremely good detail. And flattery, yeah. And he turns around, and Captain's like, yes, looking good. Yeah, I look good. Okay? Yeah, so, because they're all conceited as fuck. Well, not all of them, just most of them. And the ones who aren't conceited are like, man, he does really good, does detailed shit. And that's what the real from the Aquadeer, Aquadeer Captain real paint magic mage. That's what he's saying. And he's like, oh, I gotta collab with this guy sometime. Gotta get on my team too, so I can do that. And basically, yeah. And then last test is combat. So, Asta snaps his finger, or fingers, or hand, whatever, snaps, and his ice just breaks, and just returns to nothing, or pure mana. Yeah. Anyway, after that, combat test comes. No one is wanting to go up. I go up too. Just some random ass fire mage who's also noble. Yeah. I'm like, hey, you wanna fight? Just starting shit out of nowhere. I'm like, hey, you wanna be my partner? I'll put up a decent match. And he's like, whatever, commoner. You're not worth my time. And I'm like, oh, come on. It's not like I'm gonna lose. And he's like, what'd you say? I'm like, I'm saying I'm stronger than you. He's like, oh, I'll make you eat those words and type of shit, And so, the fire mage, he's over there on the other side. I'm like, alright, give me your best shot. And so, yeah, so he, does a couple attacks. I just, make an ice wall. It doesn't really do much to it since I'm way more stronger than him. And basically, he's being really cocky and, snobby. So basically, I'm the type of person to put those kind of people in their place, when I have the chance. So that's what I'm gonna do. So he's like, what, aren't you gonna attack? Where is all that talk? I'm like, oh, you want me to give you my strongest attack? And he's like, strongest? Sure. What is it gonna be, a ice cube? I'm like, well, my ice cubes can destroy a mountain. And he's like, yeah, right. And he's like, oh god. In his mind, he's like, oh god, he can't be serious, can he? That expression on his face, he's not joking. Or at least, it doesn't seem like it. Basically second round, I'm like, of course my eyes ain't that strong yet. So, basically, I'm like, are you sure? It's pretty powerful and intimidating. And he's like, a lowly commoner like you, intimidating, strong, please, all of you commoners are pathetic, and all that. Basically, he's making me really pissed off, because even though I know the world and their characters, but to me, if you're in that world long enough, and you'll eventually stop seeing them as characters and more like real people, because that's how it is in East Sky, if you're like that. So, commoners, they're like, I'm like, oh yeah? Alright. I changed my mind. I am definitely gonna use my strongest attack on you. But, there's only one way you're gonna get out of this. And it's, well, if you beg me for mercy. And he's like, yeah, right, I'm gonna beg for mercy from Connor. And I'm like, alright, you asked for it. And so, I pull up my grimoire, because, it's a test about how strong your grimoire usage is. And so, I say, my eyes are my head's down, my eyes are covered, I'm saying monozone. And everyone can hear me, and what? A commoner? A newbie? Monozone? And I'm like, monozone. Ice crucifix. Because just crucifixion. Basically, I'm a cross, and it's basically in the whole Witch Forest arc, like a witch, queen does a blood crucifixion with the team, Black Clover team, and a few others, but that's besides the point. Anyway, that's what I do with him. And since it's just one guy, I'm gonna say crucifix, and crucifixion is multiple of them. I'm gonna say, wait, no, sorry. After I say monozone, I say absolute zero. The temperature in that zone just drops to zero, and he's like shaking his ass off, and it's like, so cold. And I'm like, and as I breathe out, it's like that mist in front of the mouth, making me look like a badass, and just damn, he's high. Like to the ladies, like damn, that's high. And like I said earlier, the only way that I'll let you out and let you go is if you beg me for mercy. So that's why I say monozone, 1,000 needles, and basically needles, pop up all around his body. Not exactly 1,000, well, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many I can fit on him. Anyway, needles are surrounding him all over his body at every single point, except for his face and vital points, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so I, my hand's out, and I make my hand from a palm or open hand to a fist, and needles start going into him slowly. He's screaming like all hell. Like, if you heard his scream, it would be like blood curdling. I'm saying, come on, where's all that big talk now? Come on, you know how to end all this. Beg me for my mercy. And he's just like screaming, and let's cut to the point of view of people outside the arena. They're hearing this screaming, and they're like, oh god, we got some real monsters this time. And they're like, a few of them, a few people who are squeamish, they like turn around, go to a wall, and throw up. That's how bad it is. People inside the stadium, place, they're like, they're like already throwing up and like looking away and like covering their ears, closing their eyes, and like, oh god, I can still hear it, and all that. And so then I like make my fist from a fist to open palm again, which makes all the needles of ice just like jerk out of him, and I say monozone ice pack. Basically he's like surrounded by ice and healed like ice cubes, and he's healed pretty good, pretty fast. And he's like, what? And I'm saying, the only reason why I'm healing you is so I can torture you without dying before you beg me for mercy. And he's like, oh shit. And so then I start using monozone hail, and then little balls of ice just start forming all around him, all 360 degrees. That happens. And that happens. And just a couple minutes of hail hitting him, and he's screaming out in pain. And imagine that guy's like, oh shit, this guy's brutal. He knows how to torture. I want him on my team. He seems very capable, very strong. He knows monozone. He can fly without a broom. He is strong as fuck. If I didn't know his status, I would have thought he was a royal, or not noble or royal. But we know he's a goner, so he is fucking badass for a goner. I'm like, just saying. And I was just thinking that, And then I just stopped because like I just heard him, whisper something like try to get something out. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. And so, he says it quietly. I can hear him, but I want him to scream it to the top of his lungs. I say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. And then shot another ball of ice, at his side. And he's like, ah, like the enemy, ah, And sorry if you can't, understand me. Hold on. Sorry about that. Anyway, I was, he just got hit with one of my, ice balls. No homo. Anyway, he gets, hit. I say, I didn't hear you. He says it a little louder. I say, I can't hear you. So I put a couple of ice needles, in front of his face. And he's like, screaming at the top of his lungs, like really pathetic. I surrender, please forgive me. All that shit. Basically becoming a real bitch. He sounds real pathetic as he's begging for his life. I'm like, Proctor, you heard him. He's out. Proctor, calls it. I, dispel the ice crucifix, and then I do ice pack on him to heal him. And I'm like, you're lucky I'm a nice guy, otherwise you would be dead. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say, you're lucky I'm a nice guy that I'm healing you like this. You arrogant ass. And he's like, and basically everyone is terrified as shit about me. But a few girls that are like, crazy like that, are like, oh my god, he's so hot. But they're not gonna say anything about it because they don't want to seem weird to other people and all that. So yeah, that happens. Rest people get their stuff done, and it's selection time. Of course, gets all hands raised, and I'm like, good job, yes, good for you. And then I'm up, and basically it's my turn. My turn. And everybody raise their hands again. All the Magic Knight captains raise their hands again. And I'm like, I know how it goes to canon, but I don't really want to change the story. I mean, the rest of the Magic Knight squads are probably having nobles or assholes, arrogant people who probably want to put me out of place, so my best choice is Black Bulls. Also, if I can turn the worst Magic Knight squad into the best, I can, get more results. So I say, I choose the Black Bulls. Everyone's like shocked and and Yami's like, laughing his ass off and like, kid, I'm glad you chose my squad or whatever, but why don't you choose theirs? I'm like, there's more than one reason, but most common, basically the biggest reason is because, well, my goal is to become the Wizard King. And I just say it out loud, and and if I want to do that, I'm gonna need to get results, turning the worst Magic Knight squad into the best. Yami says, ha, you can try, kid, but, It ain't gonna be that easy. I'm like, I know, I know. As I like look down, like shaking my head, saying that, I was like, I like this kid. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna torture me later. And I'm like, all right, so you know, I go there. Everybody, gets chosen. And those who don't go away. Not relevant to the plot. Seke still gets, you know, chosen and is a bug now, like he always has been, and deserves to be, because he's a complete ass. But he is terrified shitless of Asta, and but like it's just the same as in canon. I'm like a monster. But like because like the girls, they see me smiling and laughing and being nice to and a few others who are willing to at least humor me in my conversation. And like, they're like, at least he's not that bad. And I'm like, I wonder when we're gonna go to the hideout. Yeah. Next thing you know, a couple minutes later, everybody gets, taking their head out. Yami comes. I'm not gonna make him wait because I don't want my head to get squished. And then basically we go to the Magic Bulls hideout. Not Magic Bulls, Black Bulls hideout. My bad. Sorry. I'm tired. Black Bulls hideout. Hold on. Right, so I'm pretty sure I left off where Asta and Yami and Gray, not Gray, Ghosh and Finral. Not Ghosh, Gray. No, not Gray. His name was what was his name? The poison magic guy. Hold on. Right, Gordon, Finral, Yami, and Asta got to Black Bull's hideout. That's where we were. And basically Asta is just walking behind Yami and waiting for him to like lead the way because he's a leader. And so Yami opens the door. Wait, no, he doesn't. It just explodes in fire because yeah. And then he turns around and says, "Yep, welcome to the Black Bulls." And I'm like, yeah, so it looks like fun. I mean, really, it does. It does look like fun. Like a madhouse. I didn't say that out loud, but that's what I think. Anyway. Yami, gets them to shut up. Standing there with black long sleeve t-shirt, not t-shirt, long sleeve black shirt with pants and boots. Not this yet, but I also have one eye covered with bandages. Anyway. Yeah, I introduced myself as Asta, and my magic is ice magic. And Magna, he jumps up like, "Well, alright, rookie, time for your baptism." And he's like, you probably shouldn't. Why not? And Finral is like, "You don't want to fight him, trust me." "What? Why not?" "Why don't I want to fight him? I really want to fight him." And Yami says, "He has Monozone. He's too strong for you." And Luck and anyone else in the Black Bull's hideout. Maybe even me. As they're all like, what? Hold on. Anyway, I left off at, me telling the squad, most of them, that Asta is probably stronger than him. Or at least in techniques. Not really, experience slash whatever. Basically, Yami could beat him in a one-on-one fight, but my Asta's techniques outrank him. Everybody is shocked by that. And, you know, Magna is like, whatever, I can probably still beat him. Because, he's cocky at the beginning. He is a newbie after all, even if he knows Monozone. And his mind is like, oh crap, what am I saying? I'm gonna die. Anyway, as Asta says, yeah, whatever, I'll take it easy on you since you're my squad mate. And in his mind, he's like, oh, thank God. But on the outside, he's saying, yeah, whatever. And so they go outside, and do baptism, like 100 push-ups, I guess. He, Asta does that since he still works out. He got that God bod by the age of 15. Oh, and I may or may not have mentioned this, but he is not the same height as he is in canon. And he's also not, like, bulky. He is thin and strong and tall. As tall as you know. So, yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Magna, says you might want to get out your grimoire, or otherwise you're gonna be burnt alive. And then Asta's like, yeah, whatever. So he takes out his grimoire. Magna's like, in his mind, he's like, oh, Saint, crap, why did I say that? I'm really in that now. And, anyway, we see Magna, charging up, a fire bat ball thing, and Asta, he just says, Monozone, absolute zero. Since Magna, he's not that strong, and Asta isn't, planning on hurting him, like, badly, or at all. He's just, making him really cold. So, he does that. Magna gets really cold and loses concentration. And Asta just, deactivates Monozone, puts away his grimoire, and says, well, since you, let your guard down, I win. You would have already been, dead if it was a real fight. Or, not dead, but, beaten pretty badly if this were a fight. Something along those lines. As Magna would be like, yeah, definitely. Noelle, she's like still on the, top of the Black Bulls. She's like thinking, wow, is he a royal or noble? Because no way a Connor can do that. He looks like he's wearing commoner clothes, but I don't know. Man, I need to get his help, but without actually asking for it. Like, need your help, but I'm not gonna ask you for it," kind of thing. She doesn't, think that or say that, but that's basically what she's, thinking and gonna do. And so, um, you know, they, everything goes in canon. Magna shows Asta to his room. Asta, you know, and Nero did, come with them through the portal to the Black Bulls. I know. So, you know, she, like, as Asta's walking into Black Bull's hideout, she comes and lands on his shoulder. Not shoulder, head. Head, yeah. No, his shoulder. I don't know why I said head. Maybe because, she does that in canon. Not maybe, definitely. That's why. Anyway, she lands on his shoulder. Everybody asks, like, "Oh, what's that cute bird?" And, not what, but, "Is that your cute bird?" and all that, something along those lines. And Asta says, "Yeah, this is, my bird friend. Her name is Sekare." And they're like, "Oh, so cute." With those, dead eyes. With those, you're, like, one of those looks that, look, the anime look like, "Oh my god, you're annoying. Like, I'm so fed up with everything." That kind of look. It's basically the look she has. Anyway, Magna shows Asta to his room. Asta, freezes over the room real quick and then showers it, basically cleaning it instantly. Yep, he can do that. And, yeah, now it's like nice and new, clean, you know. That's basically what he's gonna do for his cleaning regimen. Anyway, back to the story. As Nero gets off of his shoulder and flies to a windowsill, Asta, he finds a few, you know, basically he, opens the window for her to, get, stuff for her nest or whatever. But, she ain't gonna, sleep in the nest right away or make a nest right away. Because she can do that in the morning. But tonight, it's a long night. Asta, he, like, gets ready for bed. Like, he changes. He has packed some night clothes. So, basically, like, some loose pants, as well as no shirt. Just that's his pajamas. Just some loose pants and bare feet, no shirt. So, and eye patch, because why not? And so Asta, he's gonna change. Now is like thinking like, oh my god, what the hell are you doing? Like freaking out like a girl does when now. Well, I don't know if a girl would freak out like that, but I'm gonna say anime girls do that because I see a lot in anime. So now, like, averts her eyes and like does a little peek every now and then because like he is ripped, like 8-pack, god bod, like muscle definition is on point because he gotta have that looks, that drip, that ice. I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to the story. Um, Asta, gets ready for bed. Now, she's sleeping on the pillow right next to him, you know, and yeah, he falls asleep. Next morning, um, he wakes up, gets dressed. Now, was pegging out the window, so, before he got dressed. So, I was pegging out the window. Asa opened it for her. She flew out to breathe, because, man, I think she likes the first Wizard King. I don't remember his name, but, I was going to refer to him as the first Wizard King, because I still haven't watched the anime, or rewatched the anime. Sorry. Anyway, um, anyway, he lets her out. He gets changed. She cooling off and gathering stuff for her nest, because it was kind of awkward for her to sleep like next to his head, right next to his head after she saw that. I'm not gonna specify what she saw exactly, but let's just say it was very appealing to her, and she wished she had her human form. I'll just say that. Yeah. But for now, um, he gets dressed in the same clothes he had yesterday, because they're relatively clean, and he opens his door. He notices the pillar right outside his door, and then Magna shows up. Wait, no, sorry. He Asta closes his door and goes to the kitchen area, dining room type place, where people eat. Dining room, yeah. Mess hall, I think they call it. Anyway, as Asta says, like, so what are we doing today? And Magna says, well, I'm gonna be giving you a tour of the hideout. As Asta says, okay. As he sits down and starts eating, and Magna's thinking is that all? Is that all you can say? And he's like, okay. And so they finish eating, gives a tour. Asta gets told by Magna that the base shifts around every so often, every day actually. Well, not day, night. Anyway, sorry. They run to Noel. Well, no, not yet. First, they're walking in. Magna says, so, how did you use Marzone? Sorry, hold on. Anyway, back to the story. Sorry, I'm talking a little quiet. Everyone else is in the house is asleep right now. So, yeah. Anyway, Magna asked how do you use Marzone yesterday, and this is around the same time Noel is there. We gotta meet Noel, and Noel, says, yes, I would also like to know that. And Nasa says, oh. And, he sees that it's Noel, so, act formal at first, not want to make a bad first impression. So, Asta, he does like a, you know, respectful bow. It's the arm behind his back, arm, at his waist, and slightly bows and, hello, Miss Royal. As, he does like a sigh to his nose. Like, anyway. She says, well, at least you know manners for a commoner. And, Asa says, thanks, I guess. Anyway, before anyone else could say anything else, both of you said that you wanted to learn how to do monozone, and Noel nods, and Magna says, "Yeah," and then Asa says, "Well, think of your mana as an extension of you, and your will commands your mana. So if you want your mana to go out and sense someone else's mana, you're wanting it to do that. So you will it to make an area around you and pushing all magic out of the area and keeping yours in it. That's my zone." And Magna's saying like, "What? It's that simple?" And Nasa's like, "Yeah. But you might need to have very, very high control for that to happen. If you want, I could help you with that. Either you, even though you're noble and probably don't need it." As he looks to Noelle and says that, she gets a little blush because no one's ever said that. And she's like, "If you only knew." She didn't say that, but she thought it. Anyway, um, anyway, so they instead of Noelle like storming off and all that, because like Magna, riled her up. I'm gonna say also cool down the situation really fast. Like, hey, just calm down, both of you, mostly you, Magna. And Noelle's like, huh? He's siding with me. And Asta's like, not Asta. Magna's like, what? Are you taking her side? And I'm like, I'm not taking anyone's side. It's just one of you need to calm down, and I think it should be you. Be a man and just calm down. And Magna's like, be a man. And so he calms down, like, yeah, whatever. And so I say, let's go to the forest and train. And so they go in the forest. Asta demonstrates a few simple spells, or not a few, but just one, which is hail. So it's kind of like Magna's scatter shot, but with ice, and he calls it hail. Asta's, and Magna says, "So, how many spells do you have in there in your grimoire?" Sorry about that. Asta says, "Well, there's hail, 1,000 needles, ice crucifix, and ice pack. That's about it." And both of them are like, "What?" You don't have that many spells. And also it's like, yeah, mm, yeah, monozone isn't about how many spells you have. It's more about spell, experience and control of your mana. hmm And they both not understanding. Magna, goes one way, and not one way, goes like he turns to a certain direction and just, you know, practices on a few trees. Cause like Alsta, you know, he said try to make a zone of mana, your mana, with you in it around a tree, one tree, or multiple trees, and then try to hit that tree from multiple sides at the same time while you're staying still. That's basically how you can know if mana zone is actually working. So Magna does that. Noelle, she's hesitant, so she goes a little off track. Not off track. She walks where she wants to walk where no one will see her. Also, he being a nice guy for now, or at least with his squad and people he likes and give off a good first impression. Anyway, he says, Noelle. And she turns around and says, what do you want? Asa says, mm, you need help? And Noelle, she's like, no one's ever offered to help me. And so, she's very hesitant to admit that she can't really hit her target. So she's hesitant. Also can see this and says, "Is something wrong? You know, um, if there is, you don't need to worry. I won't judge. I'm I love helping people, no matter what." So he says that. She says, "Okay, now or never." So she tells him her problem. He says, "Oh, I had no idea." And she's like waiting, like just waiting for him to laugh at her and whatever. But it never comes. Instead, she hears, "Well, you could probably change your mindset." And she's like, opens her eyes and like, "Huh? Yeah. Mm, usually, it's more about mindset, like subconsciously not wanting to hurt anyone, which is probably why your magic drifts off, or rather, hurting anything." And so he basically helps her get over her, mental trauma a little bit. She can sort of hit her target now. You know, yeah, that's it. hmm Sorry about all that snorting and all that. Sorry. And so we get to around lunchtime. They're eating lunch. Asta, he, finds out that the Black Bulls don't really go on missions, but they have a lot of missions stacked up, and they're still active. So he does them, you know, because why not? And so, I think I'm gonna end it here because reasons. No, I'll go a little bit longer. Asta goes on a few missions and a few missions here and there throughout the week. So, Asta, I keep saying he goes on missions, but yeah, that's what he's doing throughout the like a few days. He's already gained a couple of stars because how perfect he's completing them. 100%, no issues, no. Yeah, of course, he ain't getting as many or as high as stars as he would have if it was done sooner. Because like, well, you took a long time to do this, so minus this many stars and all that. And so also he understands, so he does more missions to make up for that. And he hasn't even gotten like a quarter of the way done or down. He's basically like done 10 missions throughout a couple days. And yummy, and also he has done the chores like cleaning, laundry, and also he doesn't get nosebleeds. Nor does Asta doesn't get nosebleeds from Vanessa's, you know, underwear or bra or whatever. So yeah, he's just stupid. And so he also like feeds the beast, and but like since I think the beasts like are more like docile to people with like high mana amounts, they're pretty chill around Asta. Because like in canon he had no mana, and you know they like hated him. So yeah, pretty sure that's how it is. So this also has pretty large mana, and so they're pretty docile, you know, and you know, but like before he is feeding the animals, before he does any of his chores, Magna, say that they'll be back and they're going on a very important mission, which is basically gambling, but they don't know that. And anyway, also does his stuff. Noelle, is with him when he feeds the beasts, because like she's like, what? How are they so calm around you? And Elsa's like, I think these creatures respond to mana. The higher mana, the more docile they are. And she's like, wow, you're smart. Not, she didn't say that, but she thinks it. Mm-hmm. She's like thinking, how could a commoner be so smart? Already figuring out mana zone after 6 months of having a grimoire. Not even most of the captains have done that. And that's basically her thoughts of Asta right now. And also everyone else in the Black Bulls and some other people and other squads who has heard of him and saw him. And Julius, he is interested in him by now. And so, yeah, Yami and Magna comes out, not out, back to the base naked in only their Black Bull's robe, as well as their grimoire and grimoire holder satchel thing. As Asta slash me doesn't want Noelle to see that, so he puts up a sort of half ice wall so she doesn't see. Asta, says, and not Asta, but Captain Yami says, "Hey, what's this? What are you doing?" And Asta's like, "You're naked. There's a lady here. You can figure out the rest, right?" And Magna's like, "Oh, yeah, he's probably right, Captain. We should probably get changed or dressed." And Yami is like, "Yeah, okay. Meet me, or you two, meet me in the lounge area place, you know, and they walk off. No, she blushes a little and says, "Thanks, Asta." Asta says, "It's just manners and basic common sense," as he says with a, like, ugh, rubbing his temple or between his eyes type thing. And Noel's like, "Yeah, that's true." So basically, Asa gets rid of the ice. They go up to the lounge area. Magna and Yami is dressed. And basically, Yami gives them the mission to go to the boar hunting thing village. The chief of that one village. I don't really know the name of it, and I don't really care. Basically, where Magna grew up, as Magna's the one that's gonna accompany them. And yeah, so since us has magic, or I have magic, I'm I'm able to ride a broom, and Magna as a broom is, well, I think it's awesome, but it's really an abomination, a fucking cool abomination, but still. Noelle, she doesn't want to ride on that, so she asks Asta to get a ride, and Asta will be like, "Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to ride such an abomination anyway." Not that, but basically he says something along the lines of, "Yeah, I wouldn't want to wish riding that abomination on anyone." And Magna's like basically like saying, "Hey, Cyclone isn't an abomination. Cyclone is awesome." As he like clenches his fists, like, "Awesome." And like, Asta's like, whatever. Come on. And it's like, Magna just like blasts off, and Noelle sits on the broom, and Asta says, "Okay, this is a free ride, but it's also gonna be a, hold on, right? Sorry." Anyway, Asta says, "This ain't just gonna be a free ride. This is also gonna be a lesson for you to learn how to ride a broom with your large mana as well as little control." She like nods as in like, and like, nods while doing that, and also says, "You might want to start off slowly, you know, using your mana to fly, basically, says something along those lines to make sense to her. And basically, he does that, and he gets faster and faster. And she says, "Hurry up, he's probably like miles ahead of us already." I'm like, "All right, hold on." She's like, "Huh?" And then blast off, and then she's like, "Ah," and like, holding on to him, you know, like, you know, like a biker does, like the backseat biker does to the front one, arms around the waist, holding on, hmm holding on for dear life, because she is, because they're going so fast. She's scared shitless, and anyway, Asta catches up with Magna, and Magna's like, "Huh? Thought you didn't get here so fast. Damn it! Cyclone is still awesome, but apparently he's not the fastest." I'm just gonna say Magna's weird like that, and naming inanimate objects like he's and she's and yeah, because yeah, we're not. Mhm. Anyway, um, anyway, uh, what was I? Yeah, basically they get to the forest. They kill some boars. Um, yeah, they kill some boars. Well, mostly Asta, but you know, Noelle, she doesn't want to, but Asta says it'll be good practice. She, takes his advice. She has one. It doesn't really do much damage, but she hit it. And she's like, ah, I hit it, I hit it, I hit it. And she like jumps up and down, and she like realizes, oh god, I hit it. It starts charging at her. She's like, ah. Also, saves her with like an ice spike to the board. And he's like, good job, Noelle. You're getting really good at that. You're getting really better. And like she's like blushes and saying, yeah, okay. And because basically Noelle needs some positive reinforcement. Even if she doesn't really think that she does or show that she appreciates it. It's the fact that she does need some positive reinforcement, as well as some pushing, like past her comfort zone. Anyway, hmm yeah. Sorry, where was I? Yeah. So they, you know, basically Asta makes like a cart type thing out of ice, cause why not? And anyway, when they get near the village, um, Asta slash me knows something's up, so we run up there, and I immediately, since it's filled with mana, so I open up my grimoire and say, I create a new spell, absolute freeze. I freeze a spell solid, turning it from mist to like snow, and it falls on the ground. And basically, we like no. I basically do that, but in like a tunnel type thing, so the people don't notice anything and know something's up. So I basically tell them that I can sense the villagers. They're all gathered in one place, and some bad intentions I can sense. I tell them that basically, and you know, I tell them to also get ready for a fight, just in case. So I'm making a way through there and I can sense where they at, so we get there faster, so the old man's still alive. Or at least, on the, it still has a chance of life. Anyway, we we get there. Magna, he throws his scar shot against the ice spikes above the villagers. I see, old guy, he's clinging to life. I use ice pack on him, healing spell of mine. He's being healed, and, you know, me and Magna, you know, fend off attacks from, the people, the the fanatics, I guess you could say, occult people, whatever you say. Anyway, me and Magna are fending off attacks. And same thing still happens with the little girl and Noel, and but like this time she ain't thinking like it'll be easier or better if I wasn't here. I'm just holding them back. She ain't like that this time. She's like, well, part of her is like that, but she's thinking, I want to help. I want to help. And so that little girl, it gives her that push she needs. She creates a new spell, which is Sea Dragon's Lair. Mm-hmm. And so, sorry, sorry again. That gives me and Magna, you know, good opening. So, me and Magna rush forward. You know, I like, they're like saying these, pigs or garbage or whatever they say should die. And, you know, as I say, I think, that's usually what nobles would say. So, as, tensions in the air, no spells are firing. Well, no, if spells are firing, just countering and all that. I, say, so are you guys nobles or. And then the leader is saying, like, we don't have time for this. As in, you know, I say, well, you say you're gonna kill us off anyway, so what's the harm of, telling us if you're nobles or not? And so one of them, are like the cocky ones, are like, yeah, of course we're nobles, kid or brat. One of those. Of course we're nobles, brat or scum, and you're all gonna die, all you damn commoners. And so I say, or not say, I think, so this position is only offered to nobles or people with high status. Okay. And so I file that away, and that's basically my only, thing I'm gonna get out of them. But like, I don't know that yet. Well, I do and I don't at the same time, because basically me being Asta and also having magic changes the timeline a good bit. The ripple effect type thing. One small change in the timeline will eventually cause a totally different future. That kind of thing. Anyway, as some stuff goes pretty much to canon. Me and Magna pretty much, knock him out. One guy gets away. I'm not gonna, specify how we, knock him out and all that. But like, I'm just say Magna used his scatter shot. I got behind them, and used hail. Can't lock two places at once, and so, well, maybe they could, but I don't know that they don't, sense it, expect anything. Anyway, I'm also pretty good at hiding my mana, suppressing and stealth type stuff because I like stealth. Stealth is my friend. The shadows. Sorry. Anyway, as yeah, we get the people fanatics, knocked out, and one gets away, of course. Magna, he uses fire magic to capture them and like bind them or whatever. Sorry if I'm annoying, but like, yeah. So they do the same as in canon. Like, you're not gonna get any information out of us after Magna says we're gonna get you to the capital and blah blah blah. We're gonna get all that information. Being that loudmouth he is, he ain't gonna change. So might try to change him. Anyway, they commit suicide. The chief is saved. Nero is with, well, me, and slash also, um, and she just find that stone. He says, "Well, I only hide the black bulls for, you know, boars, hunting boars. So the bandits is a bonus. So you can keep that stone. Think of it as a bonus. Something along those lines." And so they go home, report everything. I mentioned that they were nobles, or at least noble status. So those kind of that group was most likely offered to nobles or people of high status. I mentioned, and I mean, he says, "Well, at least you're able to get that much out of them, especially out of the fanatics." And he says, "Good work, newbie." And Asta says, "Thanks, Captain." Anyway, yeah. So after that, no interaction. Gives us our pay. Gives the Black Bulls their pay, and you know Vanessa offers to take Noelle to the black market to get something that'll help her control her magic. And I want to go shopping too, and get something. And of course, Asta's still gonna send a pretty good amount to the church. Like, not half of it, like in canon, but a pretty good amount. Because I'm saying, like, before Asta, left for the capital, the oldest children in the church, basically, they told Austin, that, they're gonna take over the, hunting for them. And Asta, tells him, well, if you do, you might want to start with the small animals first and work your way up. Because you don't want to run to a bear or something and, not be able to finish it and not survive. And Nash is like, yeah, that'd be bad. And of course, Nash isn't, talking down to Asta and all that. He actually respects him because he has magic and he's damn strong. Anyway, yeah. So back after, uh, back to the story, flashback into whatever. Um, they go shopping. Um, Asta, he buys these clothes as you see here, and he was looking hella drip. He got that drip going, hella fine. No homo, of course, no homo. And anyway, when he comes out, all the ladies are like, damn, is he noble? Shit, fuck, god damn, he's hot. All that. Whispers are going around as, Asta's, walking with, Vanessa and Noel, and, they're like, damn, he cleans up good. That's Vanessa, and Noel's like, he looks like a real noble now. And, then they go to the black market. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I'm talking quietly. I keep saying that, but yeah, I am sorry because everyone in my house is, asleep, and I wish I could talk louder. But I don't want to wake all them up and get in trouble because why are you up so late and blah blah blah. You need to get some rest and you probably have work tomorrow or whatever. All that shit. Sorry if I'm rambling, but yeah, that's basically why I'm talking so quietly. Anyway, back to the story. They go to the black market. Noelle still gets her wand. I'm gonna say that the sword guy still shows up and trains Asta / me in swordsmanship, because why the hell not? And I'm gonna say I actually also forgot to mention to others that I have a spell called Ice Katana. Because, yeah. Yeah. Because things slip people's minds sometimes. Anyway, as, I'm gonna say, flashback, the, you know, guy that teaches Asta the swordsmanship, in canon, I'm gonna say in this timeline, Asta tries to get to know him more, and he sees his teacher uh, looking at a picture of a woman, and it's basically his fiance. And in a flashback, you know, Asta sees, her from the picture that his, teacher showed him or told him about. And he, says, to her, are you so and so? I don't remember her name, so are you so and so? She says, uh, no, I never heard of that name. And Asta says, well, your fiance taught me how to use a sword. His name was, I don't know his name here, so I'm gonna say so and so. He gives him he gives her a description. She says, yeah, that's me. Do you know where I can find him? It's been a while since I saw him. And Oz says, gives her a pretty good area to start looking for him. Sorry, I thought her son. Anyway, gives her a pretty good area to start looking in for him. So, yeah, after she and Noelle buys her wand from her, you know, that happens. And, Asta, instead of buying that crap toy from Canon, um, Asta slash me buys a satchel that, that holds a lot, like I don't know what it's called again, basically a endless sack basically thing that can hold endless stuff. Basically, if you want something to get in there, like you put your school supplies in there, you think of what you want, put your hand in there and grab it and pull it out. There it is. That's how it works. And so he buys that because he thinks it could come in handy. Anyway, he also has a good amount of money left over because Black Bulls they get paid way more than the Golden Dawn because you know Asta sent over like half of his money in canon from what he got paid, and like sent over like a pretty good amount of it, like half of it as well, and like I'm pretty sure they both Austin and Canon send half of their pay to the church, and Asta's was more than and I'm gonna say because in this timeline, Asta did more missions, so he gets more pay than Canon. So he has a bit more left over, a good bit, and so he sees a scarf. It's you know, it basically is able to change color and fit, and it basically adapts to the magic of the user's magic. So basically, if someone like Magna wore it, the scarf would turn red or black or combination of two, and like be able to not get burned, like because it's fire magic, luck, and it become blue and like have like lightning on it, I guess. And sorry, and it would like get like more staticky, you know. Think of Natsu's scarf and how it grows scales when that happens. It's sort of like that. Anyway, Asta, he sees that it's a weird looking scarf. He asked about it. Not asked about it. He, the vendor, catches him looking at it and is like, ah, you got a good eye. This scarf is able to adapt with the mage, in their element. You know, and, he says, the clerk, whatever, merchant, says, trying to, sell it, and, like, also, he have a neutral face, like, doesn't sound a lot useful. And, the merchant's like, well, it's more for style than actual use. As he looks down a little bit, like, I'll give you a discount, like 20% off. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Because, like, I'm not gonna push him for more, because, like, he might, catch on. Because, like, why not? As, I buy it. Um, I wear it, put it around my neck. It turns blue, like a ice. Like, you see the color and it reminds you of ice. That's also the color of his Asta's eyes. Not eyes. Eyes. The color of his eyes. You look into his eyes, and the color reminds you of ice. Or a storm. Yeah, a snowstorm. Yeah. Anyway, back to the story. We cut to, Seke, the haha guy's perspective. He just lost to, the old woman who was disguised. Not an old woman disguised. The Wizard King who was disguised as the old woman. Old woman. As, he, he's sulking a little bit until he sees, Vanessa and Noel. He goes to flirt with them. They turn him down like in canon, like big time, like a bug. And also comes up, saying, "Hey guys, not guys. Hey Vanessa and Noel, look what I just bought." As he shows off the satchel, like the endless whatever bag I said. What was damn? When I said the endless sack, whatever, and the scarf. He soldiers that off, and they're like, "Damn, he looked good." They don't say that. Well, Noah doesn't. Vanessa, she kind of teases him like, "Damn, if I was in a yummy, I'd be like all over you." That type of shit, trying to get him flustered. And also like, I wouldn't mind. And she's like, she's not expecting that kind of response, so she kind of like, I was just kidding, messing with you. And I was like, sure you were. Yeah. I know I look good. He doesn't really say that, but, let's back up. There's Vanessa saying, "Wow, Asta, you clamp good." And like, I know. And like, not Magna, Seke, he like being like hella jealous because just the other day he was like looking like a commoner, and now he's looking like a damn royal. Like, how does this guy have such good fashion sense? He's thinking, as the same guy with a cloud magic takes the old woman's stuff, money, not stuff, money, as I/Asta just jumps into action, enhancing my body with mana, and getting there faster and completely freezing him before he even gets to that far. He's like, basically by the time I catch up to him and freeze him solid, he he's right outside the black market. And so yeah, I phase my hand through the ice, grab the old woman's money, and give it to her. And, like, there you go, ma'am. And, you know, she's like, thank you, young man. That's a very strong ice magic you got there. And Asta's like, yeah, I guess. And Noel and Vanessa's like, you guess? Asta, you can be so nonchalant sometimes. And Asta's like, yeah, I get that a lot. Sorry. Vanessa's like, you don't need to apologize. Just, whatever. Let's just go. Turn this guy in for some extra reward, Because, like, yeah. As Seke, he more jealous now. Because this Asta, he not gonna pass up, turning a scumbag for, like, scumming around. I don't know what to say about that, but anyway. As, Asta's just pushing the ice on the floor, because it's ice, slippery. And, yeah, he turns him in, but as they're walking away, you know, we cut to, the old lady turning into the Wizard King. As, nah, that's an interesting boy. Very strong ice magic. Very versatile. I wonder how he'll end up in the future. I can already tell he's gonna be strong. So, anyway, that's when, uh, Marcus, or, Mushroom Head, basically that guy, he, calls Julius saying you should get back to work and all that, basically being his mom and all that. Anyway, we, we cut back to the Black Bulls. A few days, no, it's been a week since that incident. And Asta, he has still been training and doing his chores and still going on missions from time to time. Whenever he gets free time. And he's not, helping Noelle with her control and, giving her positive reinforcement, praising her, but like, yeah, you're the best student I ever had. Because, Asta, he's a pretty good teacher and can make the crappiest magic user the best in, I would say, at least a year. Anyway, yeah, so we, get to back to the story as Asta just, finished with his chores, I'm guessing, as, Yami comes through the door and says, alright, listen up, guys. Got a mission. Luck, Noel, and Asta, you three have a mission, especially assigned from the Wizard King. The Wizard King especially wanted you to go, Asta. Huh? Me? Yeah, you. Anyway, basically, gives them the mission, all that, They get there, or, you know, Fenrir gives them portals to halfway there. They get there on foot, going, Asta, he, not as clumsy, so he catches the lantern before it falls and breaks. No, I would say he does let it drop by accident, because he didn't expect Noel to bump into him and him drop it. So anyway, that's when Luck finds the entrance. He pushes this stone slab thing, stone on the wall, and the entrance pops up or opens up. Luck is pretty good at sensing, mana, and so is this Asta. Me. Because all Isekai people are prodigies, basically. I'm not gonna lie. They're OP as fuck when they're even young. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it off here. Alright. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me, give me suggestions of what you want, and please give me any pointers of how to do better things. Stuff and things. Anyway, this is Ender Gold signing out. Peace.